Hey guys, what's going on? I'm gonna do a bit of a different video today. So I'm gonna be basically record myself doing some translation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into, ignore this because it's going to the demo. We're gonna be doing the next mission that I'm up to. All the the story script dialogue that comes after that is currently untranslated, and at the end of the video it will be translated, and I'll show you everything that goes into doing that. So just to get things started, it's mission 1C. It's the final tutorial mission. We have to kill 6 command wolves, and so I'm going to be doing that mission, and then I'm going to go through the dialogue after that, which is all in Japanese, and then I'm going to show you what I do, and I'm going to translate it live, basically. It's still untranslated. I haven't really looked at it much. And then we're going to do the translation, and then I'm going to show you how I inject it into the game, and then we're going to do this again, but it's going to be in English. So yeah, it should be pretty fun. Cool. So the mission that I'm doing, destroy all Zoids that appear in the test room. There's going to be 6 command wolves, and I'm gonna I'm gonna show you, I guess how I play. So like the what I found is the best way to kind of go about combat with grounded Zoids like a raised tiger is you want to do this slide thing. So when you're running away the other direction, you spin the stick and you do this slide. And you can see when there's that blue circle around them, it means I'm locked on. And when it's not there, I'm not locked on. When it's not locked on, your weapon's accuracy is absolutely terrible. Like, you can't keep firing your weapon like this. It hit that time, but a lot of the time it won't hit. But if you do it after a spin, you can see as soon as I spin around, the blue circle appears around them. Your weapon will fire perfectly straight when you do that. And it's really easy to go into it. So you're facing the other way and you spin the stick and you see those things. You see like the light come out from the Liger's legs. And that means you're doing, I think they're called power slides. I can't remember what I called them in the tutorial. I guess I have to name them because I'm the person translating it. Yeah, it's like power slide or something. And so basically, you can do that, but you can also do a dodge step after that. And so this is what it looks like at the moment, how I think it's best to play the game like this. Is you run the other direction, you do a slide, you shoot, and then you do a dodge step to safety, and then you kind of rinse and repeat like that when you've got them chasing you. Oh, I fired too early there. Like that. It's easiest on an actual GameCube controller if you have like a May Flash adapter or something like that. You can do it on like an Xbox controller as well, but GameCube controller is just such a nice controller. And so I just got to kill 6 of these. This is meant to be a melee tutorial, by the way. You're meant to be doing melee attacks. But they're a bit annoying sometimes. Like, sometimes they work, sometimes they, you know, the hitbox doesn't quite reach them, and they're just kind of a sitting duck. Which is fine if you're in a, like, a 1v1 thing, but if there's multiple Zoids trying to hit you and you're stopping to do a melee attack like this, another Zoid could just come across and hit you while you're doing that, and then you really don't want to get hit in this game because you kind of get locked into this long animation of just getting your ass beat. So anyway, that's the mission. And then there's going to be some dialogue. So this is all the dialogue we're going to be translating. So some bandits show up. is kind of like your first actual mission in action outside of a training room. So that's all the dialogue, and then it comes over to here. So we're going to close down the game, and we're going to come over here. So this is my Google Sheet that has the script for the game. And let me just get it up on my main monitor. Okay, so this is the script that I have for my game. And so I have the blue thing over here. This is the first line of the cutscene we just skipped through a bunch. And so I've also got, here's my code over here. So this stuff is going to, it's going to access this Google Sheet over the internet, and it's going to get everything in this column, and it's going to basically put it into the game. So it's going to be super easy. Once we've done the translations we want to do, we're literally just going to hit this button up here in the top right. You can't see my cursor, which is fine. Actually, there we go. We're going to hit this button here, and then that's all we're going to do on the coding side. So I wasn't lying when I said that I'm like done with all the programming and stuff. I'm literally just doing translation, and then I just run the script, and we'll open the game back up, and like magic, the same scene we just saw is going to be translated. So let's close that down. All right, cool. So whereabouts does this scene end? It would be about the bandits come in. Blah blah. Would be about there? About here or something. Okay, cool. So it's about 50, 60 lines or whatever. So let's just do it. So Alma says, すごい誰も乗り手がいなかったほどのゾイドを何の用意知識もなしに乗りこなすなんて. Which is like, that's amazing. Even though no one's been able to pilot this Zoid till now, you were able to do it without like any prior knowledge at all. You were just able to do it. So how would I put that into the translation? Everything I just said is a bit too long-winded. So what if I went with... amazing. No one has ever been able to pilot the raised tiger before, but you did it like it was nothing? Like it was nothing. That pretty much gets it across. Okay, so like anything he does, the liger like responds to his what he wants it to do. And then he says, yeah, I love this thing, I guess. This thing is great. It responds. Could I say it doesn't make sense, does it, to say it responds like butter? I don't know why that's coming to mind. It's like I can't say like butter. Can't believe it's not butter. It responds to my every thought, movement, command. He's not really commanding it. He's controlling it directly. Responds to my every movement. My every movement. It's the best. This thing's the best. I love this thing. I love it. Let's just go with I love it. I love it. This thing's great. It responds to my every movement. I love it. それでは依頼を受けていただけますか? So it's like, so will you do, I mean, if you saw my video yesterday, you would know the scene that comes right before this. But basically she was asking him for help. And he didn't have a Zoid, and so she was allowing him to try out this new Zoid, and then if he can pilot it, then he would then be able to help her. So that's her following up on that. それでは依頼を受けていただけますか? So you'll help me? I could say, so will you help me? But I think, so you'll help me then? So that means you'll help me then? So that means you'll help me then? Let's go with that. いいだろう。受けてやる. She's like, yep. Yeah. Of course I will. Sure I will. いいだろう。受けてやる. Of course. Of course. Count me in. Sounds like something you would say. Count me in. Make sure we get all our full stops. 本当ですか? Which is like, really? It's one of those weird things, because in Japanese they just have an exclamation mark. But this guy is like a question, so I think I should have. We always put question marks when it's a question. So, really? ただし、報酬はこのゾイドら、どちらにしろゾイドがかなりや。sorry. それがなけりゃ依頼を受けても何でもできんがな。どちらにしろ、いや、でも何でもできんがな。The first part is, but I want this Zoid as my reward. どちらにしろ、ゾイドがなけりゃ、でも、何でもできんがな。どちらにしろ。どちらにしろ、ゾイドがなけりゃ、依頼を受けても何でもできんがな。何もできんが。ゾイドがなけりゃ、なければ。Mm-hmm. Okay. I get it. He's saying, but I want this Zoid as a reward. Uh, what'll it be? Because even if I accept your, what would you call it, like your request, like request for help. Even if I accept it, I won't be able to do anything without a Zoid. Okay. Okay. Sorry, this is kind of like what this video is. It's going to be a long video of me doing translation mostly. So I do have to stop and think. That's okay. I can always come back and edit it because it's very, very easy to edit, thankfully, because of the programming work I put in. But whoops, still got the IME on. But I want, would he say this Zoid or would he say the raised tiger? I think he would say, I want this thing as my reward. What'll it be? Even if I accept your requests, I can't do anything without a Zoid. Or is he talking about requests in general? I want this Zoid because if I don't have a Zoid, I can't do my job for anyone. How about this? Even if I accept a sorry, even if I accept a request, I can't do anything without a Zoid. Full stop. 何をおっしゃってるんですか? Like, what are you saying? What are you saying? 我が社の最新技術を集めた競技開発機、社外の方にお見せるだけでも異例ないの、異例なのですよ。It's like my company's newest, it's like the culmination of, what would you say? This is like my company's newest thing, like their latest invention with the newest technology, like the best scientific minds kind of thing. Showing it to people outside the company, even just showing it to people outside the company is pushing it, or it's not. I shouldn't even be showing it to people outside outside the company, let alone giving it to them. And so それを報酬としてお渡しするなんてことはありえません. Basically, yeah, I can't give it as a reward. I can barely even show it to people. I shouldn't even be doing this kind of thing. Okay, so let's go with, instead of saying my company, I want to say Zoitech again. This is Zoitech's latest technological feat, marvel, latest technological, what's the word? This is Zoitech's latest technological breakthrough. No, not breakthrough. Technological. Oh. This is Zoitech's latest technological. Achievement? Achievement? God, I still don't feel right about this. Maybe I'll have to come back and edit it if I find the right word. This is Zoitech's latest technological achievement. I shouldn't even be showing it to people outside the company. They use a lot of exclamation marks. I don't know if we need exclamation marks in English though. I don't want to do a dot dot dot. Maybe I should just keep exclamation marks. Giving it to someone as a reward? That's out of the question. How about that? I need to go into the next line. That's completely out of the question. じゃあ俺が依頼を達成したら、come on. そうしたら報酬にこのゾイドをもらおう。じゃあ俺が依頼を達成したらcome on. うーん。 達成したらで。What does he mean here when he says, come on? これが依頼を達成したらで、come on. Come on. そうしたら報酬にこのゾイドをもらおう。He's like, well, after I've finished your request or solving your request or solving your problem, then I'll I'll pay no mind or it's fine or and he says if I do that then I'll take this Zoid as my reward. Completely. Come on. If we read ahead, maybe it'll make more sense then. それまでは枯れているということにしておいてやる。これ以上は譲れないのね。At least let me borrow it until then. Let's go. 今回の移動をお願いできる方はいません。その条件のみましょう。Is he saying he I know he's saying he wants the Zoid as a reward after he's done with his job, but is he saying he's willing to only borrow it for the time being? Okay, I think I know what he's saying. I think he's saying that he wants to have it after he's done with the job. But the one concession he'll make is that he's only borrowing it until he's done. And then he wants it after that. So until he's done, it's not his. I'll definitely have to come back to this one. But for the time being, I'll just put something. Okay, so what if he's saying, well, if I solve your problem, then it shouldn't matter. After I've done that, I want this thing as a reward. I don't feel good about that translation, but I'll come back to it. Until then, I'm fine with borrowing it. But that's he wouldn't say the word concession. He seems way too like a Zoid's main character to say something like concession. That's the only concession I'll make, but that's until then I'm fine with just borrowing it. But that's it. How about that? But that's the most I can. But that's it. Let's go with there. He wouldn't have a exclamation mark. He's way too quiet. And then Alma says, わかりました。あなたしか 今回の依頼をお願いできる方はいません。その条件のみましょう。It says, I understand you're the only one who can do this, who can solve our problem. So we'll go with I agree to your conditions, I guess, kind of. And she would say something formal like that. Um, I understand. I understand. Uh, oops. I understand. As it stands, you're the only one who can help with our problem. I agree to your terms. I don't think she would. I think she wouldn't be having an exclamation mark when she starts the sentence with "I understand." ... dot dot dot. And then Leda would say Miss Alma because she's very formal and she says Aruma-sama. And Alma says どうせ今まで乗りこなせる人はいなかったのです。だったらこの方に使っていただきましょう。She's justifying herself to Leda. Okay. No one has been able to pilot this thing until him. I think she would actually have a dot 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 because she hates to admit that she's willing to let him have it. So let's let him. So we should let him use it. Let's go with that. It says Yosh Kayak said it's done up. She's like, it's a deal. It's settled then? It's a deal then? All right then, it's settled. Alright then, it's settled. Or would he say, alright, it's settled then? Alright, it's settled then. Alright, it's settled then. では、詳しい依頼内容をお話しします。では、3日前の状況を説明してください。Okay. 詳しい依頼。Okay. So now that he said it's settled, like I'm in, like it's official, she says, okay, now I'll explain in detail because she was very secretive about what her problem was until he was on board. では、詳しい依頼内容を話します。依頼 is like the request, 内容 is like the like like the information. And then he says, letter, explain what happened 3 days ago. Okay. Well then, we had better tell you in detail about our request letter. Explain to him what happened 3 days ago. Full stop. I've got to remember to put in full stops. Okay. ご説明いたします。レイズタイガーに先行して開発された逆タイプのゾイドがございました。逆, right? Like a white tiger type Zoid. There was a white tiger type Zoid. ご説明いたします。I will explain then. And she says it very formally because that's kind of how Letta is. She's Alma's assistant. She speaks very formally. レイスターガに先行して開発されたに先行して that means like before we were developing the raised tiger, there was a white tiger type Zoid. Let's go like this. Senko, right? Saki ni koto. Okay, yeah. Before, okay. Allow me to explain. There was a white tiger type Zoid. We had developed, I guess she doesn't say, but I think it's implied, right? They also developed the raised tiger. We had developed. I'll go with this and I'll come back if it becomes obvious that they didn't develop it. It was a white tiger Zoid we had developed. 過去形今はないってことか。He's like past tense. There was. Is it not there anymore? So was. Let's put it in quotations. Was. We say as in it's gone. Dot 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 question mark. We love those. はい、3年も、3日前、我が社の社長、自らがそのバックをゾイドに乗ってテストを行っておりました。Okay, our company leader. I was actually struggling because I don't know what to call like shacho. I know it's like our boss, but she wouldn't use the word boss. She would say the company. She wouldn't say CEO because that sounds like a terrible translation. She the best translation is probably president, but I don't want people thinking that it's like the president of like like the United States or whatever. I don't want them to think it's like the leader of the region they're in. It's like the company president. But I don't know if I want to say. Do I say company president every single time? The other one I was thinking of is director, like the director. I'll, I'll, our company director. What if I say our company director, and then every time after that, I just refer to him as the director? The director. How about that? Okay. Correct. She would say correct because she's very formal. 3 days ago, our company director took the white. I did say white tiger, yeah? White tiger. White tiger Zoid out for some tests. For some tests. しかし突然、ドラゴン型の謎のゾイドが襲撃してきたのです。But then suddenly a mysterious dragon type Zoid attacked. But suddenly, mysterious dragon type Zoid attacked. Can I say out of nowhere, or is that implied by the word suddenly? Suddenly, a mysterious dragon-type Zoid attacked out of nowhere. But suddenly, a mysterious dragon-type Zoid attacked. I think I can still say out of nowhere, even though I said suddenly at the start of the sentence. Go with that. But suddenly, a mysterious dragon-type Zoid attacked out of nowhere. 警備が駆けつけたとき、すでに白虎ゾイドは破壊され、声を持ち去られておりました。警備が駆けつけたとき、すでに Okay, so when the police arrived, the white tiger Zoid was already destroyed and its core had been taken. I assume by the people that, the person flying the dragon type Zoid. When the authorities, she would say authorities because she's very formal. When the authorities arrived, the white tiger Zoid had already been destroyed and its core had been taken. Its Zoid core, I guess I should specify. I think it's obvious to fans of Zoids, but we'll just say it anyway. Its Zoid core had been taken. そして社長も連れ去られた後でございました。And the director was kidnapped along with it. Kidnapped along with it. Zoitek 社長が誘拐されたということか。Okay, so he's about to ask, so you're saying he was kidnapped, which means I probably should change this. Was the taken. The director was taken along with it. And then he would say, so you're saying he was kidnapped. So the Zoitek company director was kidnapped. So you're saying the Zoitek company director was kidnapped? 今回の依頼の内容は、この主張の救出と誘拐犯を捕まえることです。Okay, so our request of you is saving our director and catching the people responsible for it. Okay. Yes. She would say yes. See, Alma would say yes, whereas Leda would say correct. Because Leda's more. She says correct, and Alma would say yes. And Arrow would say yeah. It was like 3 different levels of who's being the most formal and whatnot. She says air instead of height. Okay. Yes. 今回の依頼の内容は And so our request to you is to rescue the director and catch the people responsible for all of this. Full stop. 犯人からの要求は治安局には知らせないこと、それだけなんです。Request from the people that kidnapped him is that Peacekeeping Bureau doesn't find out about this. Okay, so I guess there's like an unspoken thing of like they're requesting that the Bureau doesn't find out about it, but they're the criminals. How does that make sense? Unless it's like a if they find out we're gonna kill him sort of thing, and they're just not saying that. This is weird. I would understand if it's like the director didn't want the police to find out because of like saving face or something. Or for like the good of the company and like people believing in the company or whatever. I don't know. 犯人からの要求は治安局には知らせないこと. Okay, I'm not going to try and make sense of it. I'm just going to translate it. I didn't write the Japanese, so okay. The culprits, the culprits, the criminals, the kidnappers. Requested sounds too light when they're the people with such leverage. Demanded. That the Bureau doesn't find out any of this. That's all they said. I'm going to say that's all they said. 犯人が誰なのかも、犯人の目的がどういうものであるのかすら分かっていません. We don't know who it is and we don't even know what they want. We don't know who did this. We don't even know what they want from us. 大手企業の社長が誘拐されたとは大事だな。だから俺のところに依頼に来たのか. I feel like there's a different reading for this when it concerns companies, and so I'm just gonna quickly double check that. 大企業, a big business. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought it meant, but yeah, okay, so it's not. Wait, no, it's. 大手企業. Oh, okay, I did read it right. 大手企業, big corporation, blah blah blah. Okay, that's not really anything surprising. Okay. What was I? 誤解されたとは大事だな. The director of a huge company being kidnapped is certainly a big deal. So that's what brought you here. They did it as like a question, but it's like a rhetorical question, and I think a few dots better illustrates a rhetorical question than a question mark in English, so I'm going to go with that. So that's what brought you here. He's like mulling it over to himself. はい。非合法の表沙汰 Is that 表沙汰? What's the reading again? 表沙汰. Yeah, yeah. 表沙汰にできない事件 is like a incident that you don't want to leak to the public. You can't let it get out. Higoho is like illegal. はい。非合法の表沙汰にできない事件はブルーシティではあなたしか解決できないと聞きました。Okay, I heard that like the agent office, which is where she's at to find Arrow, is the only place that will solve these things without it getting out to the public. Right. Right. She would say right. Right. Full stop. Oops. Okay. There's more after that. I heard you the only one in Blue City who can solve these crimes. How would you say solve these crimes? What's the word? Not incognito, but like um without it getting out, without letting it slip to the public, without making a big deal, without can solve these crimes. I want to say on the download, but you can't say on the down low. You need something slightly more formal than that. Solve these crimes on the down low. I heard you were the only one in Blue City who can solve these these sorts of things. In secret sounds a bit too much. Uh, inconspicuously sounds too formal, and it also doesn't sound quite right. Solve these sorts of things without making a scene. Uh, without in private. In private. I don't know why it took me so long to come around to that. These sorts of things in private. Yeah, and then he says, "Yukai sarata shacho wa buji de iru no ka?" It's like, is the director that got kidnapped, is he okay? Is the director himself all right? We don't know that either. それもわかりません。私たちでは何の情報もつかめていないんです。We don't have any information. We don't know that either. We have little to no information. She says in the translation they have no information, but they obviously have some information, so I'm just going to say we have little to no information at all. She's pretty upset about that, so she's trailing off her sentence. なるほど。状況はわかった。社長救出か。いいぜ。依頼とあればやってやるよ。Okay, so he's like, I get it. I understand what's going on. So we're saving the director, huh? Sounds good. If it's a request, then let's get it done, I guess. So how would I word this? Okay. なるほど。状況は分かった。部長、救出か。いいぜ。依頼とあればやってやるよ。Okay. Okay. I get it now. I understand what's going on. So I'm so it's a rescue mission, huh? It's a rescue mission, huh? Let's get the job done. Let's get the job done. I'm going to put an exclamation mark, even though it's not originally there. The energy is kind of implied when it's like, easy. Let's get the job done. Okay. He seems almost excited about it, even though Alma's upset about it. ありがとう、アローさん。よろしくお願いします。Thank you. Thank you, Arrow. I usually translate よろしくお願いします as like let's do our best out there. But she's kind of asking him to do something, so it's like you do your best out there. Make us proud out there? I don't know about, is that too strong? Give it your best. Give it your all. Give it your best out there. Oh god, he says just arrow is fine because she says Aro-san. So how the fuck do I translate that? Thank you, Mr. Arrow. She wouldn't say Mr. Arrow. Uh Agent Arrow? Thank you, Agent Arrow. Because he's an agent, right? So let's go. Agent Arrow. Just Arrow is fine. Then he says, Irai Shisama is like client, and then he says summer, which is like just being very, very polite. His Arrow is just fine. You're my client after all. I don't know how much sense this exchange really can make in English. This Arrow is fine. You're my client after all. Like, you don't have to be super polite to me. You're the one paying me. I should be being polite to you. わかりました。あなたの補助はレダーに頼みます。補助 is like support, like assistance, sort of thing. Assistant, yep. Cool, got that. わかりました。あなたの補助はレダーに頼みます。It's 補助, right? Yeah, yeah. 補助。何かあったら彼女に言ってください。Okay, so she's saying, Leda, Leda will support you in any way she can. Got it. Arrow. Leda will support you in any way she can. Full stop. Please speak to her if you need anything. よろしくお願いいたします. She says. Okay, so Leda says よろしくお願いいたします, which is like, but she's saying, she's basically saying, yeah, I'll help you with, she's right, I'll help you with whatever. She wouldn't say my wish is your command. That's way too, none of them have that relationship. You're at your service? I'm at your service? I'm at your service. I'm at your service. Pleased to be at your service. Is that a phrase? Pleased to be at your service. Pleased to be at your service. Is that a thing? Glad to be at your service. I'm glad to be of service, but that's like something you say after you've helped someone. I'm happy to be of assistance. Happy to be of assistance. Sometimes I just need to say these things to myself to try and like be like, does that sound natural? I'm happy to be of assistance. If she was less formal, she'd say, I'm happy to help any way I can. But I think she would say, I'm happy to be of assistance. こちらこそよろしく頼むぜ。早速だが。So he's saying like, same over here. It's sudden, but I'll help any way I can too. And that helps highlight the difference between the two of them because uh, it's all a bit sudden, but and then the bandit comes in. He says, Mitskitaze, korega de no Zoid dana. She's like, found you. This is the Zoid. This is the Zoid we're looking for. Found it. I think they're saying Mitskitaze about the Zoid, not person. So they would say found it instead of found you. Found it. The Zoid we were looking for. It's the Zoid we were looking for. Because there's another bandit. Yeah, okay. It was Bandit B. So he's talking to Bandit B. Found it. That's the Zoid. We are looking. That's the Zoid we're looking for, or that's the Zoid we were looking for. We are looking for. I think you want present tense. Exclamation mark, and then arrows. Just that one's an easy one. Huh? She says, "Nani? Huh? Huh? Hey." He says, "Oi, dareka iru zo." Like someone's here. Hey, there's someone in it? Are they saying there's someone in the Zoid, or is they saying someone's around, like someone's standing nearby? There's someone here. How about that? Come on in. ぶっ倒して新型ゾイドをいただくぞ. Which is like, no matter, we'll crush them and we'll take the Zoid. We'll take the Zoid for ourselves. No matter, we'll crush them and take it for ourselves. I think it's implied that it is referring to the Zoid they just mentioned. 極秘開発のレースタイガー。Yeah. 奴らこのゾイドのことを知ってるみたいだぜ。This, the top secret race tiger. These guys know about it? I want to go on to the next line, so I've got to lengthen this. It seems as if these guys know about it. Dot question mark or そんなはずはありません。ともかくこの人たちからゾイドを守らないと。There's no way they could know about it. There's no way they should know about it. Quick, we have to protect the Zoid from these thugs. Thugs? Bandits? Thieves? These, I think should say these thugs. 俺はこのまま迎撃に出させてもらうぜ。迎撃? That again? 迎撃。Intercept. Really? It's Geigeki? I thought it was Zuigeki. What's Zuigeki? Zuigeki's that. Oh, okay, yeah. Gotcha. Zuigeki is chasing, this is intercepting. Okay. Would he say the word intercept though? It's like let me take care of these guys, I think you would say. Let me take care of these guys. Ah, せっかくもらったゾイドをおとなしく持っていかせるほど、俺はお好み、お人よしじゃないんってな。I'm not so, I'm not so gullible isn't the word. I'm not so naive as to let someone just walk off with a Zoid we worked so hard to get our hands on. I'm not just gonna let someone walk away with. Okay, I'm not just gonna let. And he would say gonna because he's very casual. I'm just not just gonna let someone take off with a Zoid you worked so hard to create. I might come back to this translation some other time. Like this line. まだ差し上げるとは決まってませんよ。とにかく私も出ます。エラー、準備お願いします。差し上げるとは決まってません。差し上げる is like giving over, right? Like giving it over to them. Just double check. Whoops, I'm on the wrong mouse setting. 差し上げる. Go up here. Skip to the English. Usually I would use the Japanese definition, but when I'm translating, I'm looking for English alternatives. So it makes sense to come down here. Yeah, I'm not about to give it to them. I'm not about to hand it over to these guys. I'm coming to. And then she says, letter, Jinbui onegaishimasu, which is like, prepare us, prep us for, prep for, what's the word? Prep for, not prep for battle, prep for, oh, what the hell is the word? Prep for, like moving out of like troops or whatever. What's the word? Prepare. The word. I hate it when I get stuck on words like this. I'm going to prep for She wouldn't say prep either. She'd say prepare. Prepare for. What's the word? Oh my god. Prepare for like moving out, for like deployment. Prepare for prepare for deployment. Deployment. That's the one. Uh, at once, Miss Alma. Oh, お嬢ちゃんもゾイドに乗れるのか? Which is like, oh, so you can power the Zoid as well? But he's kind of like poking fun at her. Calling her Ojo-chan. Okay, how about this? So Little Miss something? Little Miss Alma? Little Miss. He wouldn't really have anything else to call her. Little Miss Alma is a Zoid pilot too, huh? And then she says, "Baka ni shinai de kudasai," which is like, don't make fun of me. これでも小さい頃からゾイドに乗ってるんです. I've been piloting a Zoid since I was little. Don't make fun of me. I've been piloting Zoids ever since I was little. And that needs to go on to the next line. Piloting Zoids ever since I was little. There we go. Why's the font changed for that? Interesting. Fault Calibri. There we go. 頼もしいことだな。二人とも気をつけて。頼もしい is like, I guess I can trust you then. Or sounds reliable, right? Looks like you'd be trustworthy. Okay, yep, all of those things. Sounds promising. Maybe that's a good one. Maybe that's a good one to use. Sounds, oh god, sounds promising. You would say it. Exclamation mark. It's still a little playful. Oh, 二人とも気をつけて. Both of you be careful. Or would she say be on guard? Because that's like a little more formal. Be on guard. Be on guard. Be on your guard? Do people say be on your guard or be on guard? Be on guard. Be on your guard. I'm just going to quickly look it up on my phone. Be on your guard. Or be... Okay, they're both used. I'm going to say be on your guard. Out there. And Ara says, ふ過去のこととはいえ、紅の疾風と呼ばれた腕は手じゃないんです。ね。Wait, so when does the actual... This is definitely after the battle. Let's just do up to here. Because this is definitely after the battle. This might be after the battle. That's the way, yeah. Shippu. Oh, not Shippu. It's Kurenai no Hayate. Different reading. Yobareta ude wa date janai. What's date in katakana? Date janai. 単なる飾りや掛け倒しではない not like not just for show, like the real deal. Yeah, date is like just for show, so date janai would be not just for show. Okay. It may have been a while ago, but the Crimson Gale isn't isn't just for show, like the name. Huh. Here we go, like huh. This is a bit of an asshole. Huh. It may have been a while, but the Crimson Gale. He wouldn't say they call me the Crimson Gale for a reason. That sounds like way too up himself. The Crimson Gale isn't 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 a name that's just for show. The the Crimson Gale. You mean the legendary? Sorry, I didn't read this one in Japanese. The legendary Z fighter is Kurunai wa Hayate dato 伝説の Z ファイターじゃないか、じゃねえか。これも有名なことだな。Look, and he says, looks like I'm quite famous. Looks like I'm more famous than I thought. こんな奴が相手だなんて、あいつは一言も言ってなかったと。I think this is probably, it's there, it's this line and then the mission and then this is the first one of the next scene. こんな奴が相手だなんて、あいつは一言も言ってなかったぞ。Which is like, he didn't tell us we were going to be, or they didn't tell us that we were going to be fighting someone like that. They didn't tell us we'd be fighting someone like that on this job. That sounds weird. Let's just go fighting someone like that. I have to try and keep it like if the Japanese was 2 lines, then I want 2 lines. That's just kind of what I'm trying to do. あいつ佐藤はお前ら雇われ者だな。黒幕は誰だ依頼主は吐きな。It's like, they? So you guys are hired. You're like hired mercenaries or whatever. Someone's paying you. And Kuromako wa dareda is like, who's behind this? Tell us who sent you. Who hired you? Who sent you? What are people saying in English movies? It's like, who sent you? Who do you work for? Okay, that's the one. They? So you were hired to do this. Tell us who you work for. Spit it out. Because he's like, Iranushi or Hakina, which is like, spit out who you work for. Spit it out. What do we do? What what do we what do you we what do we do? We didn't sign こうなったら依頼なんて関係ない。逃げろ. She's like, we didn't sign up for this. We didn't sign up for this. He's like, run. But it's like, let's hightail it out of here. I want to say something like that because they're very casual speech. Let's hightail. No, it's too cheesy. Let's get out of here. Okay, I think that's definitely enough. So we did what, like 200 rows of this thing, about half. So it's like 100 lines translation. All right, so now's the cool part. So if we, oh my God, it's been like an hour. Cool, nice. So if we open up code here, then we hit this button, it's gonna run all my code. So it's grabbed everything from the Google Sheet, and then it's putting it into the game's binary file using all this code that I've written. And there we go. Now it's done. Now here's the cool part. So you'll see a blank screen, but that's just because it's loading up Dolphin. There we go. So now we're going to do the same thing we did at the start of the video, but it should be translated now. I'm kind of nervous now because I've been recording for an hour, and if I go into it and something's messed up, then I'll probably scrap the video. So if you're watching this, it means it probably worked. Because it would be very embarrassing to like build up to this for an hour and then have it not work. Because this is all just live. Like you just watched me do the translation. I have not seen it in game or anything. Okay, mission mode. So what mission was it again? It was this. It's we do this mission and then all the text plays. So let's do that. So this is the same mission as before, yeah? Map info. Okay, yep, it's killing 6 command wolves. Let's do it. Okay, press Y to swap over to the laser nests, and fuck all of a sudden. Alright, so trying to shoot your weapon just while running like this is very unreliable. These power slides, they give you a whole bunch of accuracy. It also makes you feel like you're in the anime a little more. You do all these cool turnarounds. Oh, too close. Sometimes you can go for like free shots like this, but you have to, like, if they're heading to the right, you have to kind of be aiming a little too much to the right. Like, you got to lead your shot a little. Almost out of shots. It's funny because this is meant to be a melee tutorial, but I'm glad that you can just shoot them. Just meleeing them. I'll do it a little bit. Sometimes it could be annoying. See if they're like just barely out of range. It's really annoying to deal with. Alright. This is an example of a gun you can use while running a little easier. Because it has some like spread to it. Okay, cool. Alright. Now at the 1 hour and 20 minute mark, I'll get to see what this whole video has been about, which is, am I good at programming? Alright, so I will go through the scene. Okay, so I'm just going to read it out because I'm pretty proud of this now. I'm glad that it worked. It looks like it's all worked. Okay, so she says, and this is just all the translations that we did. Amazing, no one's ever been able to pilot the race target before, but you did it like it was nothing. This thing is great. It responds to my every movement. I love it. So that means you'll help me then? Of course, count me in. Really? But I want this thing as my reward. What'll it be? Even if I accept a request, I can't do anything without a Zoid. What are you saying? This is Zoitech's latest technological achievement. I shouldn't even be showing it to people outside the company. Giving it to someone as a reward, that's completely out of the question. Well, if I solve your problem, then it shouldn't matter. After I've done that, I want this thing as a reward. Until then, I'm fine with just borrowing it, but that's it. I understand. As it's... Oh, I should have said as it stands. I said as it stand. I can change that. In fact, we can change that right now. So if we go over here, this is the beauty of the way I've done things. So I'll go Control F, as it stand. There we go. Now we've got it. We do this. And then run my code again. And it's going to put it into the game. But it's not going to show up on the fly. I would need to restart the game. But that's fine. It's just slowing down. Because while my code's running, it takes up a lot of memory on the computer. But there we go. So next time I load it up, that'll say as it stands. But we'll just ignore that for the moment. As it stands, you're the only one who can help with our problem. I agree to your terms. Miss Alma, no one's ever been able to pilot this thing until him. We should let him use it. Alright, it's settled then. Well then, we better tell you in detail about our request. Let her explain to him what happened 3 days ago. Allow me to explain. There was a white tiger type Zoid we had developed. Was? As in it's gone? Correct. 3 days ago, our company director took the white tiger out for some tests. Sorry, that look should not be there. It should say white tiger out for some tests. But suddenly a mysterious dragon type Zoid attacked out of nowhere. When the authorities arrived, the white tiger Zoid had already been destroyed and its Zoid core had been taken, and the director was taken along with it. So you're saying the Zoitech company director was kidnapped? Yes, and so our request to you is to rescue the director and catch the people responsible for all of this. The culprits demanded that the Bureau doesn't find out about any of this. That's all they said. We don't know who did this. We don't even know what they want from us. The director of a huge company being kidnapped is certainly a big deal. So that's what brought you here. Right. I heard you were the only one in Blue City who can solve these sorts of things in private. Is the director himself alright? We don't know that either. We have little to no information at all. I get it now. I understand what's going on. So it's a rescue mission, huh? Let's get the job done. Thank you, Agent Arrow. Give it your best out there. Just Arrow is fine. You're my client after all. Got it. Arrow. Leda will support you in any way she can. Please speak to her if you need anything. I'm happy to be of assistance. I'll help any way I can too. It's all a bit sudden, but... Found it. That's the Zoid we're looking for. Huh? Hey, there's someone here. No matter, we'll crush them and take it for ourselves. The top secret raise target. It seems as if these guys know about it. There's no way they should know about it. Quick, we have to protect the Zoid from these thugs. Let me take care of these guys. I'm not just going to let someone take off with a Zoid you worked so hard to create. I'm not about to hand it over to these guys. I'm coming too. Prepare for deployment. At once, Miss Alma. Oh, so little Miss Alma is a Zoid pilot too, huh? Don't make fun of me. I've been piloting Zoids ever since I was little. Sounds promising. Both of you, be on your guard out there. Okay, so I was right. That is where it ends. I guess as a little treat, I'm going to do this mission. I'll do this mission to show you an actual mission that's not in a training area. Okay, cool. So it's a few sea strikers. I've done this mission before. I've played this game over a few times. Let's do it. So I'm basically going to be chasing them down, trying to get directly behind them, doing power slides and hitting them with the laser nest. like that, and wait for him to get up. And then I'm going to use this cannon because it's much stronger or much easier to hit on the fly. Oh, there's another one that spawned behind me. And I swap to the pinpoint cannon. Wait for him to be damageable again. There we go. Where's the other one? And we'll do a little melee. Okay, that's why you don't want to do them. That's why I don't like the melees. Anyway, I think there's maybe one over there. I could try and hit it with running shots, but it's very hit and miss. I only did hit a few shots, so I'm going to use this cannon. It's much easier to hit running targets. That's a lightning sykes, I think. No, it's Alma and a Hellcat. Alright, we've got another one over here. This is like a really good gun when you're on the run. There we go. Bam. Done. What rank did I get for that? Oh, sick. I got an S. Nice. Okay, cool. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. So that was a bit of an insight into what it's like translating this game now that I'm done with my programming section of it. I guess we'll do these few lines that we also did just because, you know, we did them. Hey, it may have been a while, but the Crimson Gale isn't a name that's just for show. The Crimson Gale, you mean the legendary Z fighter? Looks like I'm more famous than I thought. They didn't tell us we'd be fighting someone like that. They? So you were hired to do this? Tell us who you work for. Spit it out. What do we do? We didn't sign up for this. Let's get out of here. And that's it. So, I mean, now I'm up to this, and it's just like rinse and repeat what I did at the start of the video. You know, I would be getting out my Google shit again, and I'd be starting from here until I'm done with the game. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm sure there's not going to be anyone who's watched the entire thing, because it's like an hour and a half long. And I'm sure the translating part's very boring, but I kept it in there unedited just so you can see like what it's like doing this. Because it's not very often you get to see like a direct insight into what it's like working on any of these, you know, translation or ROM hacking stuff. Anyway, so yeah, thanks guys. Hope you have a good day. Catch you later.